Alright. I'm Dr. Loving with my best bud Johns. We're playing Reaper. Sorry. It's the Bulgarians. And Lieutenant Ravel. Because seems like an army rank. So, this is Arena. Now, Aaron and I go through phases of perfect execution, and then we go through phases of befuddlement, of which, if it's castle age shenanigans that we receive, it's, it's a coin flip. But if we've got pace, and then we usually have a higher propensity to win. So to succinctly go over the civs, the Bulgarians are and am I kidding? They're both classified as infantry cavalry civs. Now, the Bulgarians specialize in siege and blacksmith speed. The Ketons, let's go see what their team bonus is. Yeah, so their infantry get +2 against ranged soldiers. I think that's pretty cool. But basically, the Ketons, in a previous video I made, they are the supercharged versions of, honestly, the Bulgarians, because they both have unique techs for their cavalry and their infantry. But the Ketons can have heavy cav archers in the castle age and have price, which is total bonko. And then their cavalry can regenerate HP extremely quick when they're like striking. And then the lamellar armor, as you can read, it deflects damage, and then their Liao Dong is this insane unit that is like crossbreed of an Obu, and then, oh, that's sour. Yeah, that's tough. But, yeah, it's like an Obu, and then a, Laichai, or Lightus for, the Lithuanians, meaning it ignores armor akin to the Laichai, and it's set at 7 damage, I want to say. Just right off the rip, as soon as it hits, it's just 7 damage of bleed. And then the... excuse me, sorry. The added effect of it being Obuch is, while it doesn't strip the armor like the Polish unique, it does in the aspect of, again, just ignoring the armor via... yeah, so anyways, that's a relatively quick synopsis of the Ketons. Aaron likes to play as the Bulgarians, but they don't get an eco bonus. Now, their eco bonuses, their town centers cost half the stone, they get Conic, Conic is their unique unit, but they get Kreposts, and their mini castles, I argue they're the best defensive building in the game, especially for what you get out of it, which is 350 stone, 20 population space. And in the upcoming July patch, really need it, so my way can get buffed even further. Which, on a segue, the way gets... excuse me. Yep. So that was us trying to kill the Bulgarian scout cav. But in any case, right? So on that segue, the way their bonus of getting a villager for every eco tech upgraded will actually apply towards handcart, wheelbarrow, and then even caravan. Which, on a 1v1, that'd be the most expensive villager. 400 reds just to get it, outside of the TC. So yeah, Aaron's scout fell victim to that. I don't know what I end up doing on this. Fortunately, I didn't go in. I'll say that much. So anyways, their conic unique unit, with stirrups, they're 33% faster attacking cavalry. It can beat a generic paladin one-on-one. So that's legit. Not the most HP, fully upgraded, but it's a 2-for, meaning their rider dismounts and then continue fighting as infantry. And there's a lot that goes into it, but frankly, it's relatively easy to counter because you just have 2 counters paired. You go with anti-cavalry means, and then you go with anti-infantry means. But it's still worthy of a unique unit, and it definitely has its value. So, moving on from that, the Vikings are a really up-and-coming civ because while they received a buff about a year ago for their archer line getting +1 attack, what that means is it will shred, I say generic paladin, but you know, like 180 paladin, as is, with 45 shots as opposed to 60 as per Spirit of the Lost, so that's great. Of which, they also have a 20% HP increase on their infantry, and then their little redhead crazy unit, the Berserk, basically got Berserker Gang for free, which is, it regenerates HP. So one-on-one fully upgraded versus a generic knight in Castle Age, it actually beats it, but you do need chieftains. So it's still expensive to tech into, but it's pretty cool. So, oh, and then chieftains, they also get gold when destroying monks, trade units, or villagers, so historically based. Okay, Vietnamese. So, I think of all the archer civs, I think they're the most... Okay. Is that Gaia? Yeah, that's interesting, so they just want me to focus on nature. That's pretty funny. Holy jeez. Okay, anyways, apologies for that randomness. So, they're unique in that they have the most HP towards a Fire Lancer, which I've spoken ad nauseum before in the anti-Boomtown bid. Give that a view when you can, it's phenomenal. But they're missing Blast Furnace, so like the Meat Shield proponent is all in. And it's worth it, big time, because they can't just go pure Skirm to counter you, which even if they did, Imperial Skirm is the best version of a Skirm you can get in a game, or in the game, so take that, Native American civs, with your bonuses. And my team bonuses, I actually give it to my unit, or my teammates for free. Well, something to access, right? So nothing happens here, just, you know, I notice auto-scouting just wants to hug the walls of the opponent, because the scout wants to go in there and whatever, right? So as the review continues, yeah, they're elephants, 420 HP, so for you people that like to participate in ne'er-do-well activities, voila, but of which it's the chonkiest and dummy thickest elephant in the game, aside from the Persian world, right? So, that's great. Now, because it's 20% extra HP per archery unit, their cav archers are extremely tenable. I think Sipahi cav archers for the Turks have more HP, I'm gonna assume. But they do not get Parthian tactics, which is okay, given the HP. But, all that to say, because Parthian tactics add +2 pierce armor, I want to say, which is pretty cool. But their cav archers are really good, so in Arabia, I always use them as cav archers, elephant, steppe lancer. Well, elephant, steppe lancers to defend home cav archers for raids, and then I transition to their rattan archer, which is my favorite archer in the game, don't let that farmer with a bow fool you. He's the most pierce armored in the game. Up to 10 fully upgraded, and it has +1 attack, and either +1 range or the same range as a crossbow. So at the, yeah, it's a bigger cost for wood at 50 wood and 50 gold, but comparative to a cav archer and what it does long term, it's worth the added investment. And it's the second fastest foot archer in the game, so that's big time worth it. So anyways, I think I got all the eco upgrades in feudal. Yes, I do. And that's great. So we're gonna just get the relics, and then we're going to plan on doing that. So in the meanwhile, we're just gonna fast forward to this stage of the game for now. So we're just, everybody's booming, and it's kind of the plan. Nothing happening over here. Generally nothing happening over here other than just relic collection. So things are pretty good, right? I don't know if it's good or not to fast forward, but I just find beyond the intro, I think it's fun. So everybody's setting themselves up, slow down once when action happens, or clicking up. I tend to get housed as the Vietnamese, don't ask me why. But this is not stage 2 of the game at all. It's just seizing terrain and going from there, right? So I'm able to click up, in my consideration, pretty quickly. But I say that, and my opponent already made it to Imperial Age. So let's see here what Aaron and I are seeing. Now, Aaron's going to go with a fascinating duo. Well, I guess it's a trio at this point, of light cavalry and his exceptional archery line. Wonderful housing project. I should take notes and consider doing that at some point. But I've learned you need to scout and you need to have vision. So that's what we're going to plan on. And I see that, and I immediately cancel it. I'm thankful that that castle wasn't destroyed by this castle. So anyways, I realize this is the time to have enough of a distance where he can't just trub it safely, he has to come out. And of which, I need to get my numbers up to defend my trebs. Now, I get conscription immediately upon hitting Imperials, so pumping out trebs and so forth is really good. Okay, good. I gave Aaron a relic too. Because that's what friends do. So, the scores across the board are pretty sound. Now, I'm pumping out a couple trebs in the back. But he's going to take out this outpost eventually. But I just need to get my military up right. So, he's going to go with conics. To what extent, I'm not so sure. But that's going to be the plan. So Aaron's getting some outposts, getting some vision. I lost my outpost, okay. And he's slowly expanding out onto the map. And we'll see how they go on that side. For now, this side is where the action is. And Aaron's starting to pump out his archer units. And I'm just getting in some upgrades, as well as just more units afoot, right? So that's the plan. Chemistry, just get the upgrades in, and we're gonna go from there, right? So I figure let's just take this castle out, because I feel pretty confident about this composition. He's getting elite conic, so obviously I don't know that, but he's only at, let's see, at 9. That's not much at all that I have to be concerned with. So we're taking out this castle, so that's good. Good on him for researching the elite status. Oh, I guess it wasn't. Anyways. So I don't want to get myself out of position. Okay, Aaron's opponent just made it to Castle Edge. Or, sorry, so not a lot to be seen over here for now. And this is going to be the game of No Man's Land over here, as well as you could say relatively fair. Now, I'm feeling pretty good that I can press in on this and make the most of it. So I'm prioritizing my archer upgrades. I obviously could have gotten 2 blacksmiths, but that's very rare if ever to happen. So I'm feeling confident, I'm seeing the score, and I just kind of figure, hey, like, let's just keep going. A pro tip would have been throwing a light cav scout just to come in and see what we can get out of it. FU to this one particular farm, and I see a decent amount of conics heading my way. Oh, they're not elite. Did I take out... I guess I took out that castle, because he made one over there. Alright, so the infrastructure's going up big time over there, and then over here, it's a game of dancing. So let's check out some production. Jeez, I have 1. Yeah, my production was extremely lacking. So I want to try to save these traps. Yeah, I don't think I have much upgrades, to be honest. Not good. So anyways, I don't think he has all his in. I wish I would have gotten that earlier, but to no surprise, right? So anyways, I realize, okay, let me try and save these traps. So watch, it dismounts, it gets up. Of course, it's behind the castle, so we're not going to see it. And get chasing. In the meanwhile, this is a unique unit of the Ketons where it's the mounted trap. It's not really great against siege, or not siege. Well, yeah, it's great against siege. You can't reach buildings until 10. So he cleared out that army. The Ketons did. Horrible micro. Jeez. Yep, so he's gonna learn the hard way. You can't. Congratulations. But he does have a trap. So there's Aaron with the light cav. Exceptional addition to the team to snipe stuff. So let's see. Wow, 2 bears, 5 snipers. That's total opposite. Now he's gonna get these traps, but the goal is at what cost, right? Now, this is hilarious in terms of micro, because I'm like, oh, I need to put my fire lancers. I keep double clicking the wrong events. But at least he's into double castle fire, because poor micro. And this is the great battle of Middle Land across both spectrums. So anyways, I don't know what this guy was thinking, but, you know, I'm not going to complain. It's the game of holding on to this castle, that's for sure. So I was lucky with that trap hit. I've got the numbers in my favor to take on... Never mind. So the hope is that this little trap holds on. And we can punish the conics for being aggressive. And generally that's the case. Meanwhile, in the Battle of Middle Land, so Aaron's doing a good job of avoiding the siege and employing enough army to constantly rejuvenate his forces. So, in the meanwhile, this is still the Battle of the Middle over here. So yeah, he's doing 1 unit composition. Oh yeah, he needs ballistics, but that's okay. So, at this point, it's still another middle ground, and I'm getting my unit numbers up. Jeez, still 2 barracks. We're at 4 stables, but we're at 3 castles. So I'm getting in more upgrades. Wow, just getting in my first upgrade. That's great. So it's another stalemate. It's nothing crazy. Now this is really good. Almost 60 army there. Let's see how many arbalists. No, they don't speak Vietnamese. That's just a weird HUD. So if I click on somebody else, it'll speak their 6 languages. At this point, describe it as what it is. That's a solid number. I didn't go elite once again. Okay, we didn't. I should have gone elite, but I just need unit production and my composition of triple gold. The unit is, yeah, it's got its costs. My traps are on point this week, that's for sure. I managed to save this castle. I guess we'll find out. Panic. Let's see if we get it to save it. One more shot and it's down. As long as I get it over 500 and we're safe. Okay, so it's going to be a titanic clash over here. I give Aaron a ton of respect for his production facilities. So much better than mine. So that's really good. He's definitely never going to get housed. Maybe he has, I don't know. So ignore the Vietnamese from a Viking. Yeah, 59 minutes. So a little bit rough of the light cat usage, but, you know, I'm sure he was doing something else right. Yeah, see, we're going to talk about mismanagement. Yeah, there it is. I want to say I researched Chatras, or not Chatras, I definitely did. Paper money this time. Now, I got a little lucky that he didn't snipe these. But that's because I need to head over here and help Aaron out. He wanted some help, so I'm heading over. Obviously, not ideal for what I wanted to do. Yep, that made me so angry. But we took it out, right? So now we're good. Aaron's side is stabilized. Yup. And then I'm going to lose this entire army. Because all I had to do was turn around. But the production facility's coming back towards me, so we're good. Which, wow, that's not bad. Yep, so Aaron's at an extremely comfortable arbalest number. The best part about fighting the Tetons is... Oh, he's got murder holes. Fantastic. Is... Without heavy cavalry in the Tetons, they don't have that. He doesn't have any options, right? So anyways, at this point, it's not looking great, but at the same time, I'm going to get his tribes, he's going to get mine, right? I still think I'm doing better trades than he is. And I say I'm going to get his tribes, and then I'm not all the way there, right? Jeez, I'm so late on the upgrade game. So, again, the game respects my score. I don't know why, but sure. So anyways, I'm holding the line. Great. Meanwhile, Aaron's got this under control with the arbalest count, and that's game. I think Yellow quit a smidge early, but he also doesn't have any gold whatsoever. And that's probably why he quit, because he realizes he can't hold this gold, and I just don't think he utilized the pastures as well as he could have, because his production was near 9, non-existent comparative. And if Red would have mixed in, I don't know, other units, maybe it would have worked out. So let's see their final stats. So again, for a cavalry unit, not the most HP, but really it has 205 hidden HP, because the dismount is 65. Oh, 50, never mind. So 190. So pretty good. I think I would have saved this castle again, but I'm pretty sure, other than me turtling back in the castle, I think he would have beaten me on that, so... Okay, finally I get some production facilities up, but they're all the way in the back, and this one's not even here yet. So, be more like Aaron in terms of production facilities, and then, yeah, so I don't think he got chemistry, and I don't think he got Boggs Vagar, which, a little bit sad from that respect, but he was able to get unit production. So in the game of missing upgrades across the board, at least I have a elite unit, so yay. But it was a great back and forth game, and considering none of us truly did any damage to their home base, this was a really interesting game of production and control. Because as sketchy as it got over here, with a quick reinforcement from my side and taking care of his rocket carts, that enabled Aaron to move forward without any issues. So, we'll check out the stats real quick. Not the biggest in building destruction, but in terms of army production, yeah, it was really good. And then one thing that I did not mention is the Vikings get handcart wheelbarrow for free, which is fantastic. So the timings were pretty identical across the board with a 6-minute gap. That's not bad. With Aaron and me, 7-second difference, of which near nigh identical in villagers, which is, you know, always amazing too. And that was kind of that. So, Dr. Loving, I played with my best bud Johns, and until next time, peace.